You know, we are absolutely surrounded by cameras. They're on our phones, they're in our homes, on pretty much every street corner. They're like our own digital eyes, and they capture everything. But what happens when those eyes capture something that, well, something that just shouldn't be there? Something that feels impossible?
I mean, it's a question you've probably asked yourself, right? We install them for security, to keep an eye on our pets, our packages, all that stuff. But what if they see more than we do? What if they're picking up on things that exist just on the edge of our perception? Are these just weird glitches in the system, or are they a window into a whole other world? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dive into today.
All right, so we're gonna break down a series of really unsettling video clips that seem to show a crack in reality itself, a place where our technology and the supernatural just kind of collide. And we're gonna start where these things are always the most terrifying, inside our own homes. Yeah, there's just something about a haunting that hits different when it's happening within your own four walls. So our first case file looks at two different homes where the technology revealed a terrifying and very unseen resident. Okay, so what you're looking at here is a clip posted online by a woman named Erica. It starts out as a completely normal scene. You've got her younger brother on his phone, their grandmother is resting nearby, everything seems totally calm. And then, bam, out of absolutely nowhere, just watch his leg. It gets yanked with some serious force. Honestly, that's the only way you can describe what the camera caught. He understandably bolts from the room in pure terror. I mean, who wouldn't? After seeing this footage, Erica said her family just couldn't stay. They packed up all their stuff and simply abandoned the apartment, just left. And you know what? This kind of terrifying event isn't a one-off thing. Our next clip shows a pattern that is chillingly similar, but this time, the victim isn't human. So in this case, a guy had been experiencing all sorts of strange things in his apartment. To try and figure out what was going on, he did the logical thing. He set up a motion-activated camera. For a long time, nothing. Then, one day while he's at work, his phone buzzes. He opens up the live feed, and at first just sees his dog wandering around. But then, the dog's behavior changes dramatically. You can see the dog clearly senses something that we can't. It looks terrified. Watch the sequence here. The dog seems to be pulled upwards, almost like it's being choked by its own collar. And then, the collar is ripped clean off its neck. Now, as any dog owner will tell you, it is practically impossible for them to remove a properly fitted collar on their own. The owner came home to find his dog completely traumatized. And yeah, he moved out immediately too. Okay, so these events aren't just happening inside private homes. Let's move outside, into the public world, where a security camera on a quiet street captured something truly, truly unbelievable. So get this, it's 2 in the morning. A security guard gets a call from his colleague who's watching the monitors, and he says there's movement outside. The guard goes to investigate, and what he sees sends him scrambling for cover. On the CCTV footage, we see it too. A pair of legs with no upper body, just calmly walking along the top of this narrow wall before simply fading into nothing. So what in the world did that camera actually capture? One theory is, a simple glitch. Poor video quality just failed to render the person's upper body. But the other theory is way more chilling, that this is the spirit of an accident victim, maybe forever replaying their final moments. And honestly, the way the figure appears and then just fades away, a simple glitch feels kind of unlikely. All right, so we've gone from a permanent home to a public street, and now we're going to a place that's kind of in between, a temporary rental. This next case file, from a woman staying in an Airbnb, is one of the most detailed and frankly unsettling accounts we have. So a woman named Sydney was in town for a wedding, staying at an Airbnb with her dog. Almost immediately, she noticed her dog was acting super weird. It would just stop dead on the stairs, always in the same exact spot, whining and acting like something was physically blocking its path. Its attention was totally fixed on a locked closet door right under the stairs. Sydney was convinced something was just off, so she started investigating. She checked the carpet, the area above the stairs, nothing. But her focus just kept coming back to that locked door. After hearing strange noises from inside, she did something incredibly brave, or maybe a little foolish. She slipped her phone underneath to record. She even knocked on the door and heard a knock come back from the other side. As she's trying to get a better angle, her phone is violently ripped right out of her grasp. The footage shows it being dragged into the darkness, tumbling down a hidden flight of stairs. After a moment of stillness, the phone gets jostled again, as if it was picked up by an unseen hand. Sydney actually had to call the owner to unlock the door just to get her phone back. It's wild. Okay, so we've seen hauntings in apartments, on streets, and in rental homes. So now we're heading out to the open road. But as our next case file shows, even the isolation of your own car offers no protection from the paranormal.
This is like a classic roadside horror story, but it's all caught on a dash cam. A driver is on a pitch-black highway and has to slam on his brakes when he sees a lone figure in white just standing there in the middle of the road. But instead of speeding away, he does something truly baffling. He turns the car around to confront it. By the time he gets back to the spot, it's just gone. Okay, let's stick with the road for another incident. I want you to imagine this. You park your car, you walk away, and when you look back, you see a face staring out from the driver's seat. So what do? A, abandon the car forever. B, go closer to check it out. C, get inside the car with it. Or D, recite a prayer. The driver in this next clip had to make that choice. He chose option B. He bravely walked back to his car and looked inside. It was completely empty. Relieved, he started to walk away again. But when he glanced back one more time, the face had returned, sitting right there behind the wheel. It seems the entity only appeared when he wasn't looking directly inside the car. So after going through all these different clips, a really clear and, let's be honest, disturbing pattern starts to emerge. There's a single theme that just runs through every single one of these case files. The message from all this footage seems to be that these phenomena are not tied to one specific type of place. We've seen evidence captured in a private apartment, on a city street, inside a temporary rental home, and even within the confines of a personal car. The one common thread is always the unblinking eye of a camera. And that brings us to our final, chilling question. We buy all this technology to keep us safe, but these clips suggest it might be opening a window to something else entirely. If the cameras that are everywhere can see ghosts, where do you have left to hide?